Julie Schell from Bowbottom Veterinary Hospital, and today I would like to talk to you how I make home-cooked food for my pets. Today I'm making a chicken beef recipe. I've already made a kitten beef recipe. I've already made a kitten chicken recipe, and I've labeled them. I like to label them with the name of the meat, which is the main protein of the ingredient in the recipe, plus the date. And there are about, 12 different kitten recipes that you can make from the Hillary Watson's cookbook. So we're using the Complete and Balanced cookbook by a veterinary nutritionist named Hillary Watson. She's really amazing, and she has them properly formulated to make sure that they fit the kitten or the puppy or the dog, whatever recipe you choose, depending on the species and depending on the age and the health status of the animal. And so all of the ingredients are listed. I like making it in big batches, and I just wanted to show you how easy it is. We're making 3 times the amount, so I tripled the recipe, and I use a great big, it's called a Breville Sous Chef food processor, and it totally makes it go by really, really quickly. And as you can see, my dogs like smelling it. It's a fun adventure for my dogs to watch me make the food, as well as myself. I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. So I just wanted to let you know, I put in the ground beef. It's all cooked. We don't use any raw meat, especially for kittens. It's all cooked meat. So I put in the ground beef first, and then I've also measured out the beef liver. This is what beef liver looks like. And so it looks kind of like steaks. You can get it in chunks at most grocery stores in the frozen section or in the fresh section, and you can freeze it so that you can prepare it at a later date. And so I'm going to put all of this right into the food processor, and then I mix in the very important ingredient, which is the powder, and that's the supplement. It's the Hillary's Blend supplement. And so for this recipe, because I'm making 3 times the amount, it calls for 18 little scoops. And what I like to do is I already put in 16, so I just put in 2 more, and I actually push down the lid because you want a level scoop. So I push down that little insert that is the safety seal part of the lid, and then I basically use that as my guide to make it a measuring scoop that's perfect in its level. Like, I want to make sure that it's a perfectly level scoop. And so you grab that little scoop, and then you measure it like this. So it's 1 perfect level scoop. And then I just need 1 more, because altogether, like I say, I chose 18 for this particular recipe. And then I have to add in a few more items, like some of the liquids that I add in are safflower oil. And for this recipe, it says that you have to, the salmon oil is what I need to add. Salmon oil, so it's 1/2 of a teaspoon. I multiply that by 3. And so this is the salmon oil. And I just use 1½ teaspoons, which is right here. And I just measure that right into the food processor. And we carry this salmon oil. It's very good salmon oil. It's tested to make sure it doesn't have any mercury or heavy metals in it. I want to make sure it's not polluted and that it's ocean-wise and friendly in its way that it's produced. And then I add in flax, and this particular recipe takes the flax at a level of 3/4 of a tablespoon, and so I multiply that times 3, so that's actually a total of 2.25 tablespoons. And so you just grab your tablespoon measurement and make sure it's nice and accurate. And I just kind of pour it. I always like to freeze the flax after I open the bag. I want to make sure I'm not using expired products. You want to make sure that it's all fresh, because cats have a very good sense of smell. So if something smells off, they definitely will not eat it. And then 2.5, that's the same. There, good, nice and measured well. And then I just add in the pre-cut vegetables. And this particular recipe takes really interesting vegetables, including celery. And I just pour it all into the food processor. It also takes broccoli. And believe it or not, cats will totally eat celery, and they will totally eat broccoli, especially if it's cut up very, very small. As you can see, the food processor will grind it. It's all about texture for cats. They really, really like to have kind of like a texture of baby food, so it's like a pate a lot of times. Some cats like to have it chunkier, so try it in your own cat and see which they prefer. And as you can see, the eggs are also in there. I've already pre-cooked the eggs, and they're like hard-boiled eggs. And then you just put it all in there. And then we're going to make use of the food processor. Like I say, it saves you a lot of time if you use a food processor. You can also use a blender. But I really appreciate the speed that it takes for the food processor. So everything is turned on, and are you guys ready? Here we go. It's my favorite part. So it's nice and ground up to a texture that I know that my kittens will like. And that's what it looks like. And then you can just press the off button, take it off, and then you can use the special scoop that the Breville comes with and start filling your mason jars. I like to use glass mason jars. I don't like to freeze things in plastic because I don't want the plastic to break down, but mason jars are excellent. And as you can see, it's a nice fluffy blend, and the kittens will really enjoy that. And you want to make sure that you don't fill the mason jar too high, because as things freeze, they actually expand, and it can fracture the mason jar, so it can break the glass. And so what I've done is I've labeled it as the kitten beef and then the date. And you can freeze this and then thaw it out and then even heat it up and make it so that the kitten will enjoy eating it. Kittens don't like to have food that at room temperature. They often prefer it at body temperature. So I always like to heat up the kitten food before I give it to them. And then in the recipe, it also talks about how much you should feed your kitten based on the body weight and the age and the activity level of the kitten. It's important to prevent obesity in cats. And you can talk to your veterinarian about how many calories your cat should be eating per day, and when to transition from kitten food to adult food, and then maybe from adult food to senior food, or if the senior cat is having kidney issues or some other health problem, then there are special kidney-based diets for that, as well as like diets for cats that are suffering from other diseases. So if you have any questions, please give us a call. Our number is 403-278-1984, or check us out online at www.bowbottomvet.com. Thank you very much.